spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.
Look out. Here
Welcome
comes
back, D-List
Spider-Man.
Cinema.
What it do, D-List?
What up, pigs?
This week was my pick. I went with a childhood classic for just about everybody on the planet.
I don't know if anybody would be able to guess it after that intro.
No, there's no way. Spider-Man 1, Sam Raimi,
I thought it was Batman.
Tobey
OG.
Maguire. Goated movie.
OG.
Goated movie. For those who don't know what Spider-Man is about, which I don't know how that's possible, it is Peter Parker, a man in high school somehow. Nerdy ass boy in high school.
Nerdy ass boy.
He has a crush on this girl named Mary Jane Watson. Best friend Harry Osborn. Dad, Harry Osborn's dad, Norman Osborn. Anyway, they're on a field trip at the beginning of the movie. Peter's trying to take pictures of MJ, taking pictures and everything. She's like, "Oh, what if I look ugly?"
You think he's
That's
slick.
not possible. And then he gets bit by a spider.
That's a mic bar.
Oh God, he gets bit by a spider. This little experimental spider. He goes home feeling sick. Wakes up the next day. Bro is jacked, 20/20 vision, handsome as hell, doing little kicks off the wall, climbing walls, shooting webs. Becomes a little superhero. Goat.
Went from you to me.
That's
You to me.
debatable. But anyway, Spider-Man. I love this movie so much. I gave it 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. This is one of the first movies I ever remember watching. I watched it a lot when I was a kid. Like, a lot. Probably too many times. And I just love it. Spider-Man's the shit. He's the GOAT. I lived outside of New York for a little bit when I was a kid. So it kind of like, I don't know, it just worked with me. Big Spider-Man guy. But 4.5 stars. Loved the movie. All-time GOAT.
Yeah, I mean, I love it too, bro. Like, I've seen it quite a bit as well. It's like, it's just a movie any kid like around, from your age to my age has just grew up on, and I mean, it was the beginning of a lot. It was the beginning of the superhero genre for like most of us kids, now adults.
At least the good part of the superhero genre.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much built the bridge to this like modern day superhero phase. It was like the first of its kind, so I think that's why so many kids loved it. And I mean, I was definitely one of those kids. Like, just watching it back this time was insanely nostalgic and just like brought me back to when I was a child. So just like those feelings alone are why I love it so much. Like, it's definitely not a perfect movie, and definitely not definitely has its flaws for sure, but it didn't really matter to me. Like, there's just so many parts of it that I was so excited to watch. Like, I remember when the fucking opening credits came on, I was watching it, I was like, dude, I'm so pumped. Like, I haven't watched this movie in 10 years, but like, this is so lit.
It's one of those movies where like you could tell what the flaws are, but you don't care because it's just fun. You're having fun, and
I also gave it 4.5 stars. I think it's one of those timeless movies. It's a classic. I really liked it. Obviously, it has its flaws, like they were saying, and I agree. So that's why it's not 5 stars. But it's one of those movies that you could always just watch again at any time and enjoy it. And growing up, I also really like Spider-Man. Throw some pictures up here, but yeah,
there's some good pictures.
I watched mainly the cartoons, but then watching the movies is always really good too. And I like Tobey Maguire did a good job. And at some point, we'll do the other movies too. So stay tuned.
Got a long road ahead.
Yeah.
Cover all the tracks.
It's a lot of tracks.
A lot of tracks.
A lot of Spider-Man.
This is a good start though.
Yeah.
I think. Good start. Yeah, it's definitely like one of those movies, I think, where it could be on TV. I mean, I know none of us, there's no fucking cable television anymore. But like, if there was cable television and you just like flipped on the channel and it's like 45 minutes into this movie, like some movies you're like, I don't know if I want to watch this because I missed the first 45 minutes. But like this one, like cut to where he's learning his powers and becoming Spider-Man, or cut to like his first fight with Green Goblin, and you could just like, all right, I could just like start from right here and just watch the rest of it, and I'll equally enjoy it as much as if I started it, at the very beginning of the movie, which is something I really like about it. It's just very entertaining, and like Corey said, just a classic, bro. It's very iconic in many ways. Gave us a lot of stuff and a lot of I don't know the word, but just it built what we have now.
It's like the groundwork.
Right. Yeah. So
I won't lie. In some ways, some of the newer superhero movies should and could go back to the groundwork, and that'll fix some problems. But that's a whole nother thing. But
whole nother thing.
Whole nother thing.
More of the story though from the three of us movie is gas, all timer.
They had some.
I was trying to do the. Oh, sorry.
Like the little like poetry clap. What the fuck was that?
They had some studded people.
Should I make like a lighter sound? Like
a part of the cast.
They did.
It's a studded roster.
Cast.
Pretty roster. Yeah, pretty deep.
Obviously, Tobey Maguire, main man. Willem Dafoe.
I think I've said on an older episode, maybe it wasn't him, so maybe I just said it between the three of us. I don't know. I think he'll go down as one of the greatest actors of all time.
He's one of my favorites,
like
for sure.
the top 5 or 3.
He's been in so much shit. But yeah, Kirsten Dunst, James Franco. I really like James Franco.
I like Kirsten Dunst.
Not everybody likes James Franco. I'm a James Franco fan.
I fuck with James Franco too.
J.K. Simmons. I love J.K. Simmons.
Great guy.
He's so good. He's
That's
so
also
funny.
I think this is the best role J.K. Simmons has had in anything. Like, just him as Joe. Whoa, JJJ. Him as him. That's like the perfect casting. It doesn't get any better. Man's the GOAT.
I mean, this was. Yeah, he's very good in this movie. I mean, I think that statement you just made might be a little stretch, but I mean, Whiplash, bro. He's
definitely not the GOAT,
perfect in that. But sorry, but
he's got a role of a character that he plays really well.
I don't know.
It's like that role of just being a dickhead, which he's not a dickhead, and he's a great person. But playing the role of a dickhead, he does a really good job, and he's funny.
I can't see anyone else
hilarious.
playing J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I was saying you said that was his best role or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whiplash.
Just because I can't see anyone else doing that. Like the Whiplash role, I could see other people doing that. J. Jonah Jameson, there's no other person on this planet.
I'll be a debate for another time.
I do think he was perfect. Like I do think it was the best casting option for that role. Like he was. I mean that game was start. Well, I don't know too much about him, but I feel like that was the first time a lot of people heard of him. Was the Spider-Man role.
First time I heard him.
First time I did too.
It was also.
I was 4 years old when I saw him, but
yeah. Sick casting. They did good with his wig.
His wig. Did he wear a wig for that?
His bald ass, bro. What
the fuck?
It was 2001, man. I don't know.
It was a wig.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, wigged up.
Even with his natural hair, I don't think it would look like that. Even if he wasn't bald at that point, which he 100% was.
Nah, he was. I saw some shit that said he was
very bald,
wigged up.
Let's talk about some scenes now. I'll say mine because I feel like I have less written down. But my favorite scene was when when Peter was first trying to learn how to use his webs for the first time, and he climbs the building, and then he goes to the top and he looks at a billboard and he goes, "Web fly!" And he's like, "Shazam!" And he's going like doing all these different things, and it's not working. He's like saying all these different things and it's not working, and then he like shoots it and he's like, "Okay, I understand it now," and then shoots off.
I want to mention something with that scene. I want to mention something with that scene. That's one of the only scenes of the movie I don't like, and I have a very specific reason.
Crazy.
I don't know.
I know your reason.
Was I with you when they put it back in theaters?
Nah.
Okay,
I
so
haven't watched this movie in
Okay. So last year
says tally ho.
Last year they put it in theaters. I was locked in. Everyone was locked in. That scene came on, and there's this one dude 3 rows in front of me to the left a little bit, real big boy, right? He's sitting there. He's going, "Go, Web, go. Go." Oh, dude, it was pissing me off. And now, ever since I've seen that scene, I just hate it because I remember that guy.
I just liked it because he was learning how to do it, and then he finally gets it, and he says, "Tally ho." Like, Peter Parker's a real fucking dweeb.
I laughed when that part came on when he was saying that shit because I forgot all about that shit. I mean, the one part I didn't like about it was when he was going from building to building. I think it was like the only part of the movie where the CGI was just like terrible.
It's the same like Harry Potter CGI. But every time they were doing Quidditch.
But I really liked that scene though. Other than that one part, it was actually just like one building jump where they like showed him from one building to the other. I was like, dude, he literally looks fucking like a cartoon.
Like,
it was rough.
Something that happened early in the movie, the infamous waving at the person who's not waving at you.
I knew you were gonna bring that
First Walter Mitty, now Peter Parker, man.
Oh,
they
so
got his
cringe,
ass.
I had that written down.
He had Mary Jane sitting there going, he goes, and then boom,
cringe.
2 shorties behind him. She not waving at his goofy ass boy.
The secondhand
Shit her
embarrassment,
ass,
bro.
boy.
I had that written down as I've been victim of the false wave too many damn times.
It's good to know that Spider-Man also was a victim.
That was before he was him.
you
That
know,
was
but
before
he
he
was
was him.
objectively Spider-Man.
I mean, he was still a little.
If a tree falls down in the forest with nobody to hear, does it still make a sound?
Whatever
Moving-
that.
moving
Was
on.
that English?
Whatever
Moving
that
on.
meant.
Moving on. And never mind. I'll talk about it later. What was your favorite scene?
All right, so you already touched on the intro earlier. I wrote down the intro crawl is forever goated. Everything about that is just I love it. I don't know, the whole thing is like subtle and kind of weird, and it feels weird, but the soundtrack is amazing, and I like the way everything's moving, and you could just tell it's like early 2000s superhero movie, and it's just probably because they're the first ones that like did it, but it just fits, and I like it. I had the false wave written down. There was when after he got bit by the spider and he went home, and he was in his room and he kind of like laid down on the floor and he was tweaking out a little bit. And when the lightning started crashing, I never realized the amount of times I've seen this movie. When the lightning crashes, it kind of shows his skeleton, and then it shows like it changed. Like lightning crashes again, instead of a skeleton, or instead of Peter, it's a spider where his head was, and then it goes back to
I didn't even notice.
Peter again. Yeah, I never noticed it until this time watching it through. I was like, that was sick.
That is sick. One thing about the intro I wanted to say, it was the first Marvel movie ever to do like the comic book flip thing. Isn't that crazy? I did not know that. I should remember that, but I guess I've seen so many Marvel movies now. I just like wasn't even a thought of mine anymore. But yeah, I mean, it's just another example of this movie just being a cinder block in the whole building of this massive empire now.
Yeah.
And speaking of it being like really early 2000s-y and fitting into that theme, I think they had a lot of funny and good like one-liners that they would say to one another that makes it feel early 2000s.
There was some shit that was killing me in that movie.
When he was beefing with Flash and he's like, he first got his powers and he's like, I don't want to fight you, Flash, and he goes, I wouldn't want to fight me neither. And then he gets his ass kicked.
There was something right after that. He was like, oh, Flash, it was an accident. It was an accident. He goes, my fist breaking your teeth. That's the accident.
What a freaking tool.
What did the guy say to him when he was introducing him at the fucking wrestling match?
Oh, no, I got it down.
He said something so funny, dude. I was
Hey,
buzzing.
freak show, you're going nowhere. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
Before that,
That shit cracked me up.
Before that, when they introduced Bonesaw, that was the character's name. He went, Bonesaw is ready.
And I liked when he was signing up and the lady at the registration, she's like, there's no featherweight division here, small fry. He sized his ass.
Dude, I was talking about when the announcer was like announcing. He was like, "What's your name, kid?" And he's like,
Oh yeah. He was like the amazing spider. He goes, oh, that's
No,
terrible.
that's
No,
what
he said
he said.
he's
he
scoped
said
by
like
them.
the spider boy.
Spider guy.
He said like no, you know what he said? He said the human spider.
That's what it was. Yeah. And he's like, oh, that's
The
terrible.
amazing spider
You got the
is-
amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "He fucked up my name."
I'm not going after. He messed up my name. I didn't sign up for a cage match.
Yeah.
And like that whole scene is cool because you see like really how strong he is because this guy that's sitting there beating up grown men looks unstoppable, and then he goes in there and whoops him. And then it's crazy how Peter trying to make a point and not stopping the guy that stole that money from the promoter ends up costing him Uncle Ben because he ends up killing Uncle Ben to take his car.
Dude, Uncle Ben dying used to get me when I was a kid. It got me again.
Yeah.
Like it
sucks.
I don't know how it makes me so emotional every time, but it gets me, bro. It's one of those like fictional character deaths. It's just like, oh,
You know what I think?
it's so tough.
You know what I think it is for me? It's because last time Peter sees him was when he's giving him that whole that whole monologue telling him that like he's becoming the man that he needs to be and just don't fuck up. Like do what you need to do, like in his whole thing. And then Peter just kind of tells him to fuck off.
Yeah.
And that's the last time he talks to him. And then next time he sees him, he's there on the floor, fucking bleeding out, saying his name, and then dead.
I mean, does Uncle Ben drop like the bar of our bars?
It's
Is it
up
like
there.
the bar?
It's up there.
With great power comes great responsibility. It's like the bar, I think.
That's what they did have a lot of good quotes, especially Willem Dafoe, the Green Goblin. Spoiler alert.
Nah, Defoe had some sick bars.
I
But
mean,
He had a
Crazy.
lot of crazy bars.
like that Uncle Ben bar, I think is like the bar.
Him and Uncle Ben. Listen to your elders, kids.
Listen to your elders, kids, for sure. Yeah. What else? I think.
On a lighter note, there was there's a scene after he got his powers. He went running down the stairs and he did a little kick off
yeah.
the wall into the kitchen.
I hated that.
Really.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, I tried
hell
doing
no.
that, and I ate shit.
Can you give us an attempt right now?
It's not gonna go well. But
I could
I
probably give a solid attempt.
I jumped off the step. I got one foot on the wall, but the foot slipped, and I just
Oh, no.
my face hit the floor. It was wraps.
I said, imagine just waking up one day and you're just absolutely yoked out of your mind.
That's crazy. Also,
That's why I hated the. Sorry to cut you off, but that's why I hated the kick though, because like he's like experiencing like he can now see he's like yoked and he's like not a little afraid. Like he's just like, oh, this is so awesome. Like I guess he's a high school kid.
I would
but I'm
just be
like,
confused.
I'd be scared, bro. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
so on that
How
is
could I jump?
You
on
know
a
what I
wall
would have
and
done
crawl
first?
And like,
First thing I would have done? Which is going to be a question. Sorry to cut you off. But what would you do if you woke up shredded? I would have gone over to Mary Jane's house. Look at me now,
what's
bitch.
up, man?
Look at these abs.
What I find shit?
I just beat up your mans. How I look.
Nah, he didn't beat her. He didn't beat him up yet.
What?
After
Shoulder
that,
abs, beat up her man, then come back the next day. How's it going? I
So-
can beat up
so I
your
find shit.
abusive father. Take you out on a date.
I think I'm kind of doing what he did a little bit.
You're going to run on the wall.
you're
More,
getting
I
swole?
think I'm fucking around seeing what I can do. More like
Yeah.
we obviously haven't seen this movie yet, but more like Amazing Spider-Man, what Andrew Garfield was doing.
I've
Like
never seen any of those. Any
Really?
Garfields. Nah,
I love him.
I don't think so.
But okay, so there's a scene.
Being sarcastic?
No, I'm dead ass.
That's crazy because I love those movies. But there's a scene. He's actually my favorite of the three.
He's
But
my
that's a whole
favorite-
other thing.
He's my favorite.
Well, that's
as well.
one of the. We'll ask that question later.
Yeah. So there's
You haven't
there,
seen
there-
it, so you can't truly.
there's a scene after Andrew Garfield Spider-Man gets his powers. He
Saw him
goes
in the multiverse one.
he goes on his skateboard and he starts like experimenting with like random shit he could do now that he has his powers like mixed with skating and everything. And that's like that. I don't know. That's kind of what I would do. Just kind of fuck around and see like what I can do now with the powers.
So, Buck, what would you do if you woke up absolutely yoked out of your mind tomorrow? And you're Peter Parker.
I mean, I thought your answer was pretty lit. I'd probably go find my middle school bully and fuck that boy up.
Fuck that boy up.
I didn't have a bully though.
Oh,
You
So
were
I
the
was just-
bully.
I peaked in middle school.
You was the bully.
I was the bully. Was I a bully?
Probably.
I hung out with the bullies for sure. I don't think I was the bully, but I was like the coward that was too scared to tell him to like stop bullying the kid.
it's kind of right.
I
It
was
was like
you're so funny.
it's kind of what I did. It was like a protection thing where it's like no one can fuck with me if I'm with these guys because they fuck with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Kinda
No way you're
brain.
talking about Nick like that, bro.
No, the first time I met Nick, he stole $20 from me.
Okay.
The fuck.
That's a
Anywho.
conversation
But like,
for a different
I'm
time.
gonna
but
say
yeah.
I'm gonna answer like the shred. Is the question like if I had all of his powers or if I was like just
Yeah,
specifically?
Well,
And
just
you're
like-
Peter
like-
Parker.
yeah,
I mean,
Wake up as
I'd
Peter
probably
Parker.
when I was his age, my first instinct would be to go to like a local basketball gym or like a local
Start
football
dunking
field
on people.
and just fuck kids
Oh,
up,
that
bro.
would be fire.
Just go slam on dudes or like just like go play baseball and hit a ball 450 feet. Like just something like that is probably what I would do.
You think
for
Peter-
sure?
But that's pretty similar to what Mike said. Essentially, yeah. It's just he just used skateboarding because he thought skateboarding was cool.
Yeah,
Which
Fuck
makes
around and
sense.
see what you could do.
Yeah, just do
Right,
cool
yeah.
shit. Yeah.
just fuck around.
You think Peter's cranking at 450?
I mean, if
he
he knew
could
how to
probably
swing a
hit
baseball bat,
He could probably
Yeah.
hit it further, to be honest.
for sure. Yeah, I agree.
But yeah.
Hey.
But yeah, I mean, those powers don't teach him how to fucking.
Yeah, you still have to have the fundamentals.
Hit a curveball down and away. Like,
Oh, he about to look silly out there.
yeah, he
He might
thinks
kill a
shit-
pitcher if he
thinks
lets
shit's
go of the
sweet.
bat and it goes flying at his ass. Anywho,
Anywho.
what was one of your favorite scenes that you got?
I got a few. I think so there's the scene where Norman was I think he had just woke up in his office and he's hearing like the goblin voices, and then he's like, "Where are you?" And he's like, "Here." And he like turns around and he's looking at himself in the mirror, and you see like all the masks all over the place. It's just like the first time that he's confronted with like these voices and like this. He's like realizing that he is Goblin, and like Goblin is kind of in control of him, and the dialogue and that was really cool.
Yeah.
Him
looking at it with the mirror and it flipping back and forth.
Him looking in
really
the mirror
cool.
was I thought that was really sick, and I think it was a scene that I didn't really appreciate when I was younger. But watching it, this sounds like that was a pretty sick scene, dude. Especially for like a character who was one of my favorite characters, like in any movie, was Green Goblin. Especially when I was younger, was just really cool. I loved J.K. Simmons' introduction, like the first scene. Like this time I completely forgot about like that he was in the movie, and then he just like pops up and he's just like being J.K. Simmons, and it was so good, so funny.
He fucking kills me every time. Every time I watch the movie, I just hear him talking and I start cracking up.
He's so funny, dude.
I can't remember exactly what he says, but it's like they're like, "Hey, you got a call from your wife on 1," and he just says some shit like,
He's like,
"Yeah, fucking, don't hang up, don't want it, don't care." She's trying to tell you to take your medicine, don't care. Fucking.
and then she like walks in and she's like, she wants to know which one of the dressers you want. He's like, whatever one's fucking cheaper or whatever. She's like, get out of my
I think
office.
it's kind of funny that it's not suspicious how good Peter's pictures are.
They were so elite.
He was trying to undercut him on that shit too.
Yeah.
He said, "I'll take all these
These
for
are
$200."
bad. These are terrible. These are not even that good. I'll get somebody else to give me a better picture.
It's crazy. Like he knew, like he had to be suspicious. Like, damn, these pictures are unbelievable. But he was like, dude, I care nothing more about making as much money as
just wants the
possible, so
best
I don't
product.
care. I do not care where these pictures came from. I want these pictures for $200. That's it. I'm not asking no more questions. And he kind of got it. I mean, $300. Like,
Yeah.
Peter was like so happy with 300. Like,
I would have been exactly like Peter.
I guess, yeah.
I wanted him to know what my shit was worth.
But he knew he had more work ahead of him too.
Yeah.
He could get pictures wherever he wants for real. So yeah. I mean, I had a bunch of other stuff. I think. What else? I mean, yeah, everything in the lunchroom at the beginning was sick.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many iconic scenes and shots. Like even the upside down kiss is just like a very iconic shot.
It's got to be one of the more iconic shots.
For sure, yeah, for sure. It's an all timer. What else do I have? I loved I loved when you see him in his real costume or his suit for the first time.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was really sick. I liked what else? I mean, that's pretty much it. I could talk about some more small stuff, but I don't know if you guys have anything else.
I got a couple of random ones I could fire off. You said the whole lunch scene. I wrote down that boy smooth as hell with the lunch tray. And that kind of leads into one of my fun facts too.
Crazy.
He caught all of those. Like it wasn't CGI or anything. They ran that scene over 100 times.
156.
Yep. And they had to use some like weird special type of glue. And he just kind of got to the point where they did a take and he caught all of them. And they just ran with that.
It's pretty wild.
It is. It is. I don't know.
I told Tanner that and he just like would not believe me. I was like, dude, the director literally says it right here. Like, why would he lie about that? It's pretty nuts, but like, why would he lie about that?
Why would he not?
It's crazy.
Oh, you don't believe it?
I do believe it.
Are we waiting to get into Green Goblin stuff until later?
I mean, how much time I got?
3 minutes.
Run it.
All right, I'll do light on him. I'll do light on him. All right, so the scene where Norman Osborn's sitting in the building, like the whole like company meeting and everything, and he finds out that they're selling the company.
So sick.
That whole thing is amazing.
I started this company.
Yeah, I just like that part where he goes like, "You can't do this to me. I started this company." And he starts like tweaking on him and everything. Peak.
And then he killed them all. He turned them to fucking just bones.
Well, that scene
that
is
was
so
crazy.
good because you could see both sides of him coming out.
It's really
And then at the very end of the shot, you see him like smirk a little bit because he realized like I am Goblin. Like these people are fucked. Like they could take the shit from me if they want, but like I am in control of all this. It doesn't matter whether it's like the company like becoming in my hands again or me killing all these people. Like I'm fucking.
It showed how crazy that side of him was because, you know, his son was up there with his girlfriend at the same time. He didn't really care too much. Like he wasn't targeting them, but he's still throwing bombs up on the balcony, like not really caring if. Who gets hit as long as these people that, you know, fucked him over die.
It was really that quote that I just said. Like that you can't do this to me, that's full Norman. And then I started this company as full Goblin right there. And that's when he starts like full swapping and tweaking. Yeah. And that scene too, that's crazy. Just full on terrorist attack from Green Goblin there. It just has like a little half-second scene where he drops the bomb in front of those CEOs and they just evaporate. They just turned to skeleton. It wasn't even like they just turned to the goofiest looking skeletons ever. I'm like, part of that scene too. When Peter's up there trying to help MJ, like when he's Spider-Man, he's up there trying to help MJ, and there's that little kid down there. And that like globe has a hole in it.
What
and he's just
fucking idiot, dude.
He just sitting there bro, just accepted his fate. What is wrong with you? That can piss me off,
What
man.
a fucking retard.
That can made me mad.
Clown, dude. He must have just really had faith in Spidey, bro.
God, man.
He was shocked from the fear.
One last Goblin thing I'll mention right here.
I got a little more.
That burning building scene. I love that scene so much.
Dude, I remember when I was a kid, like I hear the scream of the woman.
It used to scare the shit out of me.
It scared the fuck out of me, dude.
Every time.
But every time he was on the screen, I got scared.
Before that, the fact that woman left her baby in a...
Yeah, that's crazy.
How does that happen?
That's crazy.
This building's on fire and you're begging Spider-Man to save your baby. How did that happen in the first place?
I never thought
Where
about
was
that.
she leaving a baby in there? Or when the fire starts and you don't run up to immediately get your baby? How does that happen?
If you have a baby, how do you,
I don't even know.
She just ran out and she's like, okay, someone's going to grab the baby. The baby's going to be fine. I don't know. Ridiculous.
Throughout the whole movie, though, like, Willem was dropping banger after banger quotes the whole movie.
Spitting flames.
Like, honestly, anytime he was on the screen, he just did an amazing job.
A little poetry stamp again. Oh, that man was spitting the entire movie.
Yeah, he was.
The whole way through.
Yeah, I mean, his character, dude, is just...
It's probably my favorite character in the whole movie.
Absolutely my favorite character.
Not even close.
It's not even close for me either.
When I was younger, it was always Spider-Man. As I got older, it like slowly turned into Green Goblin.
Mine was always Goblin, I think, even like from the jump. I think I was just like so intimidated by him. And I didn't even realize he was my favorite character when I was a kid, but now looking back, like I know he was. It's just so intimidating. His look, his costume, his suit is just so sick. The thing he flies on is so sick.
Little glider.
I mean, he's wearing fucking Nike foam posits, bro. Like the fact that he's wearing, or they're flight posits. I think they're called like Nike flight posits.
I schooled him up on what foam
bro.
posits
Oh
were,
my
bro,
dude, like the foams, bro, and like there's so many.
He doesn't understand how hyped the foams were back in the day, man. Like, I put him on. He
was really wearing flights, dude. Like just everything about his character is just so sick. And when I think of like, I've seen probably, I don't know how many movies I've seen with Willem Dafoe. What?
Goblin who?
What did I say?
No, Goblin who?
Goblin these nuts.
That's what I was going to say. Okay, sorry. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Oh, Goblin these nuts. I mean, shit. Yeah, like whenever I think of Dafoe, bro, like I've seen so many movies with him now, I still think of Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Like I think Willem Dafoe is Green Goblin. He's not these other characters from some really good movies he's done.
But he does such an amazing job in all these other movies too.
Nah, for sure, dude. He's sick.
But that just goes to show how good of a job he did.
He should have taken over. Like whatever movie he's in,
he does take over. It's kind of crazy.
He's
everything I watch.
He's underrated as fuck, bro.
Everything I watch, I think it's a good movie. And then the second Willem Dafoe's on the screen, I'm like, this movie's fucking amazing.
He's top 3 for me for sure, and he's not 3.
He's not 2 either.
He might not be 2. He might be 1. To be honest,
we should do that at some point.
Yeah,
rank some actors because I'd have a lot. Like I can't even say like my order right now.
I think we definitely should have an episode where we don't watch a movie and we just like do like big ass questions like that. We're like top movies, top. But we'll get in that in the future for you.
When we get more
Yeah.
we get more going on too. We can do like viewer questions and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for the future. So stay tuned.
That'd be sick.
Subscribe if you like what you see and want to see more in the future.
And you freaking douchebag that unsubscribed, bro. Like
You're missing out, buddy.
You will not be involved.
You're not gonna be missed.
Yeah, you will not be involved, brother.
If we're going off of some of Defoe's quotes though.
Yeah.
The one I said earlier, like the "you can't do this to me, I started this company." Him in that entire scene was insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Also that burning building one. So I kind of want to get back to that scene in general. That entire thing when like you hear him screaming and everything, and then it's just him right there with the hood on, and it's like, oh shit, that's Goblin. He just starts fucking him up, right? And then they get to Thanksgiving dinner after, like literally right after, which is insane.
Yeah.
And Aunt May is like, "Oh, Norman, how was work?" And he goes, "This is an underrated one." He goes, "Oh, work was murder." I'm like, "Oh, that's fucking awesome, dude. Work was murder." That's
I didn't even
sick.
catch that. It's crazy.
It was cool too that in that scene, I don't know if y'all noticed, but they were wearing each other's colors.
Yeah. I've seen a couple things on that before actually.
Like Peter was wearing a green shirt and Norman was wearing like red and blue. Or just
it was
red
like
or
a
just
blue
I
dress
can't
shirt with like a
remember.
red tie or something like that.
Yeah.
I think I don't remember fully, but I've definitely seen something.
And they were both
about
a
that
little
before.
on edge too during
Yeah.
that whole part. Yeah. It's very good, dude.
And then he had to storm
Good
out
shit.
because he saw the blood.
Yeah, did anyone write down what he said to Harry when he was leaving?
Oh,
That
he
whole
was
thing about
he
Wednesday?
was sizing him.
He was going crazy.
He was going
on his
crazy.
way out. And then his whole like, there's a whole another scene in itself I wanted to talk about too. But even his like monologue when he goofy as fuck when he pulls up and he looks at Spider-Man, he goes sleep and he knocks his ass out. That was ridiculous. But when he gets him on the roof and he's doing his whole monologue to him. And he's like
posted up on this. I don't know.
Yeah,
he smacks his head and leans back, dude. I love that meme, bro.
Then he starts going on and on. And he's like, you know what the city loves more than a hero? To see a hero fail.
Yeah.
And then he just keeps running with it. That entire thing is
He would have got my
so
ass.
good, dude.
Those are bars,
He would
bro.
have got my ass.
He might have gotten me with that.
Those are bars, bro.
Dude,
I'm telling you, he was spitting bars the whole movie.
He was.
Him and Uncle Ben.
Look at the Stella patch on the fucking court. They know out there in Australia. But yeah, I mean, Defoe's so sick, dude. I think.
We gotta do more movies with him in it because he does an amazing
Is
job.
this the first movie we've done with Willem Dafoe?
Yeah.
might have been. I thought
We
He
almost-
was in Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh. Yeah, that's a little different. But we even then, we said he stood out. But
I don't think there's any
we
others.
were gonna do Nosferatu, but then we just didn't choose it. But he did amazing.
Oh yeah, he is in Nosferatu.
Yeah.
That was one too. When I was watching Nosferatu, I'm like, this
He
movie's
took
good.
over.
And then in the second he was on the screen, I'm like, oh dude, I fucking love this movie now.
He went crazy for sure. I thought the girl really was going crazy too.
Yeah, she did a really good job too. It's about Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
There is one last quote. I think it was one last quote. No, there's two more quotes of his I wrote down. One when he's dude's a fucking menace. Let me just get this out there real quick. He bombed the city, right? He burned down a building just to prove a point to Spider-Man, and then he fucking bombed Aunt May's house.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Bombed her shit. Made her laying on
thought
the floor praying.
She thought she was seeing demons.
Had her laying on the floor praying. She's in the hospital with those eyes. She's fucking tweaking out and everything. And I'm fully convinced. I don't think he bombed her fucking house because she was close to Peter. I think just because she slapped his fucking hand away from the Thanksgiving food. He's like,
He was a
fuck her.
menace.
Menace.
I definitely think it was because she was close to Peter.
I think
was
that's part of
His
it. I think
whole
that's part of
objective
it, but I
was-
think the Thanksgiving
Nah,
food
that was most of it. I mean, maybe, yeah. I think maybe keep saying it, keep saying it.
That's why
I think that might have been a little nudge, like, yo, don't smack me. My favorite Defoe bar was when he was singing the song. It's spider,
Yeah, that
went
was
up the
good.
water. What did he say? He said, "Down came the goblin and took the spider out." He was spitting, bro.
And even till the end when he was when Peter got him cornered and he was like trying to reason with them, and then he tricks him, and then he has his little hoverboard come around, and then he goes, "Oh!" right before when Peter jumps in, and then it just The O got me.
Right,
It made me
right
laugh.
before that happened too, when he thought he had him.
Yeah.
This one made me laugh because it's something I say a lot. I don't say like the back part of it, but he went, "Godspeed, Spider-Man."
Oh yeah.
And then he just jumps over and he goes,
Oh.
that shit made me laugh.
Don't tell Harry.
And then he had the one part of him being a menace. That is a sadistic choice. He said, "Let die the woman you love, or let suffer the little children." What are you talking about, dude? He had kids on a bus on one side and MJ on the other. That's crazy.
Sacrifice her.
He had the highest death toll out of any, I think, Spider-Man villain.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Said he killed 12 motherfuckers.
They did start making the Spider-Man more PG-like. So.
Yeah, he was murking dudes, bro. He did not care. I mean, he was throwing bombs everywhere, bro.
He
And that
disintegrated
one,
people to-
that when he was like flying on his way to the bridge, he just threw one like
Just
in the,
'cause.
for no
Just
reason,
'cause.
dude. He was like, "Yeah,
Felt
fuck
like
these
it.
motherfuckers."
You wouldn't? You wouldn't?
If I was a bad guy, I probably would.
Alright,
Those things
so-
are fire too, bro. I throw them bitches like fucking 12-6 curveballs, bro. Drop that bitch in there. Yank.
Ephus.
Throw a little knuckleball action in there.
You don't want to see my knuckleball.
Throw a little Tim Wakefield joint. Y'all young motherfuckers don't even know who Tim Wakefield is.
I tried throwing a knuckleball in a game when I was playing. I tried throwing it for some reason. I didn't even tell the catcher, and I hit the top of the fucking the fucking shit in the back. I hit the top of the thing.
Knuckleballs are dumb hard to throw.
Yeah, I don't know why I tried, but
Y'all got quotes from anybody else that you wrote down?
no, I said all my quotes.
Fair.
I did. Sorry, they can definitely hear all this chewing in the mic.
It is what it is.
I mean, I loved like the last bit of monologue from Peter.
Yeah.
He goes, "Whatever life holds in store for me, I will never forget these words. With great power comes great responsibility. This is my gift, my curse. Who am I? Spider-Man." And then it's just like, it cuts to, or, it shows him flying through New York City, and there's that just, like probably the most famous shot of any Spider movie is him on the light pole, and then it cuts to black, which is just a sick shot. That quote was pretty sick. I mean, yeah, we talked about it earlier. Like, with great power comes great responsibility is really sick too. Probably one of my favorite quotes of any movie, or like one of the most memorable ones at least. Other than that, that's all I got.
I had a couple. All right, so J. Jonah Jameson, they were talking about, they were like, "Is there anybody you trust?" Bro said, "I trust my barber." That's crazy.
That shit
That's
killed
crazy.
me. That shit. Goofy haircut.
His barber.
But
It's like how you trust your barber.
I do, bro.
I'm not trying. I like, if he says, "I trust my barber," and I look at J. Jonah Jameson, I'm not going to his barber. I'm
That's
not
what
getting
he
anywhere
asked
near
for.
that, man.
But that's a person.
But you're asking for that. That's fair.
If you don't trust people, you gotta trust the barber.
That's fair.
They could hear any of that shit.
That's why I don't
Sorry.
get haircuts that often, is because I don't trust them. But
There was another one that made me laugh right before the burning building, when it was either right after or right before he went to go save that lady's baby, and the
police officer?
the fire chief, he was like, it was the police officer. He was like, "I'll be here when you come back." He goes,
Won't
"Not
be
coming
back."
back, chief." And he just
Chief
went up
is
into
crazy.
the building.
He sized him.
That one made me laugh really hard.
Yeah,
And
that's
then-
good.
they're
and
really
then,
gonna arrest his dumbass.
Last one, part of that ending monologue that you didn't mention, he said, "No matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, the ones I love will always be the ones who pay." And then he went into like everything you said. I thought that one was good. That one hit.
Why did that hit though? I didn't really like that because I don't like the thought of me doing something good and my loved one still suffering.
Because
Sounds
you're the
terrible.
one that is saving everybody else, when in reality, that puts the ones you love in danger.
So I guess for him it makes sense.
That's part of the
but,
ending
like,
part too, where he said, "This
Yeah.
is my gift, this is my curse." It kind of goes
Yeah.
hand in hand with that.
Yeah, good shit. Yeah, that makes sense.
But
Because it's like when Norman finds out that it's Peter, that's when he attacks Aunt May. And he took
Right.
Mary Jane. Like, it's because you can't let them know who you
Right.
are, because
Yeah.
they will abuse, your emotions and everything.
true and real.
But in my opinion, Mary Jane Watson, Kirsten Dunst, or whatever her name is,
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst. Not my cup of tea.
What do you mean by that? Because I have an opinion.
I don't think she looked attractive at all.
I
think
think
the dead opposite.
I think she was not good at acting in this
I didn't
movie.
think she was good either.
She has her moments.
Yeah.
I didn't think she was good at acting, and she's not attractive.
She's always been big, like
my
childhood.
opinion.
I think
childhood crush of mine.
I'm attracted to her too.
I'm not.
But I thought her acting sucked, which is kind of crazy because she's a good actress. But in this movie, I don't know. Maybe it was the dialogue they gave her sucked because I thought there was some very bad dialogue, especially between her and Peter. A lot of stuff was corny. But I don't know. Her acting kind of bothered me. And one thing I never noticed, Aunt May's. Oh, she annoyed the fuck.
Yeah, she's not
out of me,
great,
dude.
She's not great.
Yeah.
She was in the hospital like,
Those eyes.
Yeah.
I've never seen overacting like that in my life. Like, calm down.
She was tweaking. Hey, that's traumatizing. He bombed her house. Bombed her house and just stared her down after.
Yeah, that shit would freak me out.
I guess, yeah. I mean, that's what Defoe would do to you,
There has always been, ever since I was a kid, one scene with MJ that always kind of pissed me off.
Bring me Gwen Stacy.
I like, oh God, I like the beginning part of the scene when like her and her dad are arguing in the house and Peter's outside and she's like, "Were you listening to all that?" And they go into whatever. They're going into that whole talk and everything, and I like that part a lot. And then as soon as she gets like out of the backyard towards Flash, she's like, oh my God, this is your new car. Fuck you, idiot. Like what? Oh, I don't know.
What the hell was he even driving?
For real, dude. It was not that fire.
Shit looked weird.
He did not have that shit.
She was a convertible.
And then Peter was flipping through those cars. There's no way somebody paid $25,000 for that shitty ass Honda that he was flipping through.
Did you
that
guys see the
for.
Porsche? That shit was only
Like
like
fucking
40K.
2000.
That makes sense. At that time, 40K is a lot, which it.
Yeah, in 2000.
That's what I'm saying. But like
yeah.
a Porsche 911 now is no.
But that's why those fucking bookie ass Hondas and Toyotas that they were showing that were also like 20,
Yeah.
25K.
Right.
That didn't make any sense.
Right.
Them being half the price of a fucking Porsche 911, you would just save up your fucking money and get the damn Porsche 911.
Facts. Might as well, bro.
Also, this is gonna be a stupid question. Do you think that was like an authentic ad from?
I don't think so.
No.
Because
Brown
I paid fucking 20, not 20K, but close to 20K for my fucking basically brand new
Well, those
car.
are also basically brand.
Yeah, but at the time you're not paying 20K for it because
Yeah.
the 20K is different
Yeah,
than
sure.
what it was.
Well, also whatever car he settled on was like 2,900 something.
Regardless, that shit was overpriced. The New York market, man.
That
shit.
too, yeah, it's New York.
Well, the Porsche 911 would have been 100K. But regardless, we're not here to talk about the car prices in 2005.
I did like one last thing. Maybe not one
2002.
last thing, but there is something.
This was made the year I was born, guys.
Legit.
There was something that when we eventually get through all three Spider-Man movies, you'll notice in all of them, all of them have like that classic like New Yorkers coming together type of deal.
Yeah.
Every single time.
I hated the fact that they had all the New Yorkers throw the stuff at Goblin at the end, and I just thought that was so corny and like they could have figured out a different way to stop his character other than have like these, oh yeah, gotcha, asshole.
Yeah, so I didn't
we're
like
gonna
that.
stop you because we're New York and we're together. Like, dude, I did not like that.
From the Bronx.
I didn't like that part as much, but I did like the two people with the barge pulling up, and they're like, "Hey, we got the barge here, man. Just drop the kids on the barge, and everything's good."
Wait, what?
They had that big ass boat.
Oh yeah, that was fine. Yeah, that was fine.
And then I don't know. It's fuck. What was it in Spider-Man 2? I don't know.
We'll
We'll talk about it when we get to Spider-Man.
the scene where he's holding up the fucking train and he takes his mask
there you
off.
go. Thank
I
you.
thought that was
can't
stupid.
believe
If that
I
were to
forgot
happen today, people would pull their phones out and take a picture of Spider-Man and put it all over their shit.
2000.
I know, I'm just
No one's
saying.
got that shit.
I'm just saying. It's
Yeah.
crazy to think about it.
It is crazy to think about it. I mean, it would be even crazier to think about the fact of a human being being able to hold up an entire bus.
Amen.
How the hell is that motherfucker holding that shit
Because he's
up?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I know.
You saw
I
those
understand.
abs.
But if I saw that in person, I'd be like, that's fucking nuts. A human being is doing that.
He also saw the webs though, and he used his mathematical equations.
Could be fake for all you know.
Oh, that's Spider-Man 2. That's Spider-Man 2. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll
We'll
get
get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. You go put that shit on.
Speaking of Spider-Man 2, that was actually the first. I watched those two before I watched the
Really?
What, you watched 2 and 3?
I was
before
10
1?
years old when The Amazing Spider-Man came out. I was just born when that one came out. So they
Oh.
came out, and I'm like,
Oh,
because I grew up watching the cartoons. I didn't watch Tobey Maguire, and then I watched the Andrew Garfield ones, and I loved it. That's part of the reason why I like Andrew Garfield more.
Yeah, I was shown all of them like in chronological, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then
I think it's gonna sound weird, but I was young, so I think I watched Spider-Man 3, and then I watched The Amazing Spider-Mans.
that one was weirdly my favorite when I was a kid.
Yeah, I liked it too.
You know, like
I
looking
was
back
the, I
now,
was the goddamn out with Venom for Halloween.
looking back now, it's obviously the worst of the 3, but I don't know, that one was my favorite when I was younger.
To build on what we're talking about right now, I have the grand question of them all, the one everyone loves.
Big Kahuna.
Who's y'all's favorite Spider-Man? Who is
Well,
y'all's
I
Spider-Man?
did kind of just say mine was Andrew Garfield, but for those reasons, it'd be Andrew Garfield. It was kind of like the first like actual back-to-back series that I watched when I was younger, and then rewatching all of them, I still like it the most because like I felt like I could relate to his Spider-Man the most, like just watching him. So I just like him, which I think he gets an unreasonable amount of hate.
Oh,
in
God.
my opinion, I thought it was pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. So, kind of annoyingly, I guess, also not annoyingly, my answer is very, very similar. Even though like Toby was the first one I watched, my favorite's Andrew Garfield. Tom Holland, I think, like by the time he came around,
retired? My bad, bro.
you're good. I think Tom Holland, by the time
not
he
sure.
came around, I was kind of too old to like relate and resonate with his Spider-Man. But Andrew Garfield was one when I was growing up, when those movies came out. Like what Corey said, he was the one I related to the most. Like just everything he liked and the way he acted and the way he was just kind of was how I was when I was a kid. So it stuck with me more than Toby's.
Yeah, all fair. I mean, mine's definitely Toby for sure. I think like Toby, and like I said, I haven't seen the Garfield, so I guess my opinion's a little unfair. And maybe it'll change. I doubt it. Honestly, I doubt it'll probably change.
It probably won't.
If I watch the
I don't think it will.
the Andrew Garfield ones, it probably won't change. Just because of like what Toby's like the significance of those movies are to me and like the Spider-Man genre. Like when I watched the Tom Holland ones, like I thought he was great. I thought he was good. I loved him. But I just, when I think of Spider-Man, I think of Tobey Maguire, and when I like my love for the original 3 Spider-Man movies are just like different because it's like kind of what I grew up on and what I like envision in Spider-Man, and so like
I think we should rank them. Should we include Miles Morales or no? I don't think. Should we or no? No, I don't know.
I mean,
if we
but
should.
my ranking's not fair because I don't.
You just put him at the bottom.
I mean, that's probably what.
Should we do-
And then after we watch the amazing,
Should we do
movies,
Miles
we
Morales
could
or no?
re-rank. Yeah, I mean Spider-Man too.
Oh shit, that makes it harder.
But is that like we're ranking actors acting as Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I'm
voice
not
acting as
going off the actors. I'm going off their individual like
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Oh well, okay. Let's not do Miles
I
Morales.
might
Then. Let's
put
make it
Miles
easier.
last.
Let's not do
Really?
Miles Morales. Let's
Yeah,
not
it's
even put him in.
Animated.
Yeah, let's not even put him in.
Although those are the best Spider-Man movies, I think.
Yeah.
But like,
Okay. Let me rephrase
why
this.
did he retire, bro?
Name. Let's rank the live action 3 Spider-Mans. Just take the clip. From the
I'll go
first one, we
first
clip it.
because mine, like, because I said I haven't seen the Garfield ones, but I've seen all the other ones. I mean, mine's gonna be Toby, then Tom Holland, and then Andrew Garfield. But I guess we'll watch them eventually, right?
Yeah.
Because Mike's gonna pick
Yeah.
every single Spider movie ever made.
Yeah,
In a
So
row.
that'll be exciting and I'll be able to make a real judgment.
I hope you'll like them.
I thought, dude. I mean, I hope I like him too. I don't think I will not like him, but I actually thought Tom Holland is a good Spider-Man too. Like, it's not like I don't think he's a good Spider-Man, but
I don't really like the style of his. Just like the
It's-
new tech, which it makes sense. But I would say my
I
ranking.
feel that. Yeah.
I would say my ranking would be Andrew Garfield, Toby, then Tom Holland.
So mine's exactly the same. I kind of have reasoning for all of them,
Just list them out for the.
but yeah, Andrew Garfield, Toby, Tom Holland. Andrew Garfield, because like what I said earlier, he was the one that stuck with me the most when I was a kid. I related to him the most. Toby's just because that's the one I kind of like. Those are the first ones I watched. Those are the ones I grew up with. Tom, I like Tom Holland Spider-Man. I've got my own issues with that. I feel like he didn't like the other two. Like you said, you haven't watched the Amazing Ones yet, so you haven't seen it. But the other two go through their own struggles and like issues and problems. And I feel like Tom just didn't.
Well, he has in the most
Didn't
recent.
have that.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard to like fully judge it now since Tom Holland's series isn't over, and it also makes it harder for Andrew Garfield because he only got 2 movies, while Toby got 3.
Should have gotten a third.
And
Toby
Tom
should've
Holland's
gotten a
gonna get
fourth.
like fucking 10, probably not, but he's getting a
He's
lot of
gonna get
movies.
more than the other 2.
Yeah, and they are good movies. Don't get me wrong, but the story is not finished, so it's harder to fully rank it, especially because the story of Spider-Man is him battling this like loneliness that he has to go through, him saving the city and all this, and that Tom Holland's character is about to go through that as well. So
Which maybe I don't know, maybe after the newer ones come out because because he's going through college and everything and living on his own and all that. Maybe that one will end up sticking with me because that's where I'm at in life. But I don't know. That's also
time will tell.
An annoying thing too. Toby was supposed to have a 4th movie, and they canceled it. Andrew Garfield was supposed to have a 3rd movie, and they canceled it. Like Amazing Spider-Man 2 is set up for an Amazing Spider-Man 3, and
I don't get it.
They just sliced it. I will say, if we were throwing Miles in there, it would have been Andrew, and then Shameik Moore, Miles, and then Toby, and then Tom Holland.
I think that would have been my ranking too.
Just because like Miles' character is also like Andrew Garfield's character, just close to me and relates to me and how I am.
I think I'd rank it like that as well, to be honest.
Also, those movies are fucking so good.
They are really, really good.
The Spider-Verse movies are the best Spider-Man movies ever made.
Do you got any more questions? Do you have a question or no?
I didn't actually.
Do you have a question?
I got a couple more.
Run it.
I'm gonna ask one of them now. One of them when we do fun facts because it kind of ties into those. If you guys could have any, you have to pick one power that Spider-Man has. What would it be?
Can you list them out just to give example?
I can actually. So there was actually this shot that I didn't talk about.
I got my answer.
Was so right when he gets bit, they cut to like there's like a monitor behind him, and it shows like the DNA path, and it has like the list of the spider's like powers, and on that thing it says there's web strength, spider strength, jumping ability, speed, spider sense, precognition, and combined protein pairs. I don't know what that means.
I would go with spider sense.
I like that one too.
I think it would be cool to have the other ones, but when it's not paired together with all of them combined, I'm not gonna say useless, but it's not as good. Where having spider sense alone, by itself is a pretty useful thing to have.
I think if I'm thinking more realistically and more like logically, that is the right answer. I think I agree. Like it's the one that would be the most resourceful. It'd be the most resourceful for sure. But being able to shoot spider webs would be so fucking sick, dude. Like,
you know how goofy that would be? Because people be like, holy shit, we got a real Spider-Man. And then you just get fucking waxed by something because you don't have the strength, the durability, the speed. But like, you would just get fucking waxed.
But if some dumb bitch is fucking talking crazy to me, I'm like, shut up, bitch.
That'd be pretty crazy.
Shut up.
What's your answer, Mike?
Like if Corey says some crazy shit about one of my movies, I'm like, shut up.
That's something you might like about Andrew's Spider-Man, by the way.
What is that?
He's got a little sass.
He's got a little sass to him.
I like that.
But okay,
if you could have any Spider-Man superpower, what would you?
Any Spider-Man superpower? So does the Spider Strength group into like how he's just able to keep taking hit after hit after hit?
Yeah.
Spider Strength. Because
That's
that what I just said, he could just take hit after hit after hit after hit, and like it hurts him, but it looks like it doesn't phase him. Then he just gets up and starts beating ass.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Does web strength include being able to scale walls?
No, because they showed that in the movie.
But what is that power?
I mean, they might not have listed it there, but that was just like his Spidey grip. That's what I've always called it, his little Spidey grip.
Okay.
Or maybe that doubles in with spider strength because some of the other Spider-Mans, they don't show those little like spider shits coming out.
So I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to crawl on fucking walls.
That'd be sick.
Like,
but the Spidey sense would be really cool to have.
Spidey sense would be very, very sick for sure. I mean, you can just
become the GOAT.
Yeah, nobody could fuck with you, bro.
Did y'all want to run through the Oscars real quick?
Sure.
All right. Another quick and easy, but understandable. It only got nominated for 2 things.
It's better than the last few movies.
It is better than the last few. Last few, I mean, I guess they're cult classics. The last few, so it makes sense. But not Sicario. But
Last one.
got nominated for Best Sound and understandably lost to Chicago. I don't know if you guys have seen Chicago. You haven't seen Chicago.
Is that the movie?
Yeah. No. That's the Trina Vega thing from Victoria's. You haven't seen it, right?
It's a seed. No, I haven't seen
All right, it's good. It's like the Broadway musical turned.
I thought it was way older. I didn't know it was 02.
Yeah, 02, 03 Oscars.
Yeah,
it was good.
Saying I didn't know that.
It was good. And then nominated for Best Visual Effects and understandably lost to Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers.
Good.
I mean, that movie's up there. You're not.
Good.
Yeah, you're not beating that.
Speaking of Lord, no, I'm joking. Sorry, I gotta stop doing that.
I should run that actually. Maybe I'll pick that in 20 minutes.
I do all the Spider-Mans. You do all the Lord of the Rings. Run the Hobbit.
And I'll do all the cars.
We can't do that.
I'll do Surf's Up 1 and 2.
We're not ready for Lord of the Rings.
That's a lot. Those are big movies.
Yeah.
Big movies. But I don't know. That's all we got for Oscars. Nominated for 2, lost 2. Understandable losses. But
you haven't seen any of them?
No, I might end up reading the books before I watch them.
That's not a terrible idea.
Movies. They're crazy movies.
It's my favorite trilogy ever.
It's
it's that or Dark Knight. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. I mean, I don't know what else we would have got nominated for. Really, I mean, Defoe maybe could have got nominated supporting actor. I don't know what got nominated that year, but I mean, I think
if this exact movie were to come out now, with like better CGI and everything,
but even
I think Willem Dafoe would win Best Supporting Actor.
I don't know. The Academy's pretty fucked against superhero movies.
Started with what they're doing.
They just right don't nominate and award those movies often. So it's tough.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. I don't watch that.
Don't even get me started with what they're doing to Dune right now because
they're absolutely hoeing Dune. I know. Disgusting. I saw the nominations were pretty fucked. Yeah.
Do we got any fun facts?
Kind of pissed me off.
I got
a few. Maybe like 20. Yeah, I'm guessing.
You guys go first.
All right. So first one I got, Toby.
I was worried about it. Be like, you should go first since you don't have a lot.
Toby
I got 30.
Toby had some suits, some suits on set that he would wear. Someone stole 4 of those.
Really?
Jeez.
Yeah. Oh, y'all didn't see this. No. That makes this even better. All right. So someone stole. Someone stole 4 Toby suits. And each suit was valued at about $50,000 per suit.
Before the movie came out, that's how much it cost to make it?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So they put out a measly $25,000 for whoever found the suits. I don't know if it was for one suit or for all 4 suits, but they said $25,000 whoever finds it. Turns out it was a security guard who worked on set. He got divorced, and his ex-wife was pissed off, so she tipped off the authorities. And they went and got his ass. Got the suits back.
Did
Nobody
she get
got
the $25K?
Why did she not just
that's some bullshit.
Go straight to the source and get the reward?
I don't know, but yeah, she tipped off the cops and
Stupid.
He got. But pretty much an old security guard stole 4 Toby suits, and there was a whole hunt for it.
Clown show.
Clown. Anyone else got something? I figure we go back and forth.
I'll go back and forth.
We go back and forth.
This is the first film ever to gross $100 million opening weekend.
And it win no Oscar.
And it
didn't win no Oscar.
I think it got topped by Spider-Man 2, which got topped by Spider-Man 3.
That's pretty sick. I've seen that before, actually.
So that was pretty cool.
Not even trolling.
Willem Dafoe performed 90% of his own stunts.
That was a cool one to me.
It's very sick.
That boy flying around on a hoverboard?
I don't know how that worked. I mean, I'm sure he was in behind a green screen, but like still like being on that moving thing was probably, I don't know.
I had a Willem Dafoe fun fact that I thought was pretty cool. So his teeth were kind of fucked. Mm-hmm. Not great, not good looking. So every time he played as Norman and not Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe had to use prosthetic teeth to make it look nice and pretty and good. Every time he played as Green Goblin, Dafoe would just use his normal teeth because of how gross they looked. So it just kind of like it fit that character. So he would swap back and forth between the prosthetics and the normals depending on which character he was playing.
His Goblin mask had some 5 teeth.
He was like everything. Yeah.
I look like him.
Sure.
Is that what you were doing?
Okay. You got another one, Buck?
Tobey Maguire never read a Spider-Man comic book,
Saw that one.
but he liked the script, so he took the part. I'd say that one. What else have we got? God, these are so freaking long. David Fincher was asked to direct the movie, which I think would be pretty sick. The guy that did like Fight Club and Gone Girl, all those movies. A David Fincher Spider-Man movie would be pretty weird.
It would be very weird.
Pretty trippy, but would have been sick. DiCaprio and Heath Ledger both were asked to play Spider-Man.
Oh, DiCaprio would have been terrible.
Oh
my God.
I don't know. I can't say that DiCaprio would be bad at anything.
I feel like his career would be very different.
Well, DiCaprio said he didn't want to do a franchise movie.
That's fair.
And he didn't want to do anything like that, so he didn't.
I like DiCaprio, not as a person.
I can't say he'd be terrible. I can't say he'd be terrible at any role.
Yeah,
his career would be very, very different.
I think it would just be weird. Which this is in hindsight, obviously. But
I can't imagine it.
I can't even picture it either. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could see him playing Harry Osborn.
Yeah, so
I can't see him being goddamn
He'd be
Spider-Man.
He'd be a good Harry.
He would be a really good Harry.
Yeah, it's a good.
But James Franco did a good job.
So
he did for sure.
With James Franco and
Big
people
James Franco
auditioning.
fan.
James Franco.
I know you, James Franco. I'm sorry.
James Franco and Joe. I don't know how to say this man's last name, but Joe Manganiello.
That's racist.
They both auditioned for Peter.
I'm joking.
Both
Joe
lost out on
Manganiello
it.
or whatever. That's the guy that played the freaking bully at school. Right?
Yeah, so they both auditioned for Peter, both lost out, and instead Franco got Harry and Joe got Flash.
Flash auditioned for Harry?
He auditioned for Peter, and they told him no.
Jeez.
And then, on another hand, which I want to know y'all's thoughts on all three of these, or two of these. Two people I wrote down that auditioned or turned down the Green Goblin role. Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would have been sick.
Okay.
He actually would have been pretty good.
Okay, so how about this one?
But Willem Dafoe.
Nick Cage.
Oh, thank goodness that wasn't him.
Mommy!
Daddy! That would have been a mess.
That would have been terrible.
It
Sorry.
would have been a mess.
You know how I feel about him, bro.
Not great.
We don't like Nick
were,
Cage around here.
Not great.
There were
Hey, if you're a Nick Cage fan, unsubscribe.
there were a few other people that got nominated
That's
for Green
it on
Goblin
there?
too,
No, I didn't.
or asked. Robert De Niro.
Okay.
I think he was a little old, but I mean, De Niro is he's De Niro. John Travolta, Mel Gibson.
Travolta would have been weird.
Travolta would have been weird. Mel Gibson would have been a little less weird.
Especially
but
like
weird.
Travolta, because this is after Pulp Fiction, right? Like
Yeah,
Pulp Fiction was
it's
99.
It's like 94.
Was it 94?
Yeah.
I thought it was later. But still, this is after Pulp Fiction. It's like you see him in Pulp Fiction, then you see him as Green Goblin. Like, I feel like that's just that doesn't work.
Yeah, some weird ones. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about any of those. I think the best of all those would have been Jim Carrey.
Yeah, but also like
He's also just a goofy man.
he is. So I feel like it would have been kind of odd.
Dang, I want to
but
listen to this.
it also like it wouldn't.
Too bad.
It wouldn't have gotten better than Defoe. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think they could have found a better person to play that character.
Yeah.
Especially like one thing when you see the Amazing Spider-Man movies, who they got for Green Goblin, and that was
Also, do you know who
Disaster.
played the carjacker who killed Uncle Ben? Michael Papa John. I'm just looking at the character list, and his name is Michael Papa John.
D-list actor.
kind of tough.
What? His last name is Papa John.
That's a sick last name.
There's no way in hell that's like Michael Papa John is
Yeah,
an
my
American
dad is
actor,
Papa
director,
John.
writer, stuntman, and producer.
Another one I got. Chris Columbus was offered to direct. What the hell is that? What is that?
Dude is ridiculous, man. I think Chris Columbus.
You probably don't know who
No,
this
we're gonna have
is.
to restart. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what are you
I meant to
doing?
do it
Why
like
are
4
you
minutes
doing
in
that?
just so to get your composure. I don't know.
So, this guy Chris Columbus, he was asked to direct the movie, but he
Christopher Columbus?
yes, Christopher Columbus.
What else has he directed? Because
The American.
That's part. It's part of what I'm saying.
Sorry. Okay.
He chose not to do this movie because he chose to do Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
There it is.
So
Christopher Columbus
My
discovered
in
America.
1492 and then directed Harry Potter.
what a
Wow.
go, dude.
He does it all.
But my question is, if you were a Hollywood director and you had the choice to shoot Spider-Man 1 or Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which one are you doing?
Harry Potter.
Very tough.
It's very tough.
Very tough for me.
I
Because
don't know.
that's
I think I would do Harry Potter.
I think I would too.
I mean,
don't
like,
know. I want to talk about it.
like
a little more.
it's me, right? Like it's
You,
it is
it's
my-
you.
like
It's
my
literally
goals.
you.
Yeah,
it's
me.
literally you. If you are
That is
20
so
years,
hard,
say
dude.
20 years from now, like these movies never came out, Harry Potter's never came out, Spider-Man never came out.
Okay.
And you're like a top bill director, and you're presented with these two projects. They say you can come direct this new star of Spider-Man 1 movie, Tobey Maguire, Willem Dafoe, or you could do this, J.K. Rowling book, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. It's the first one. It's going to be the start of this crazy franchise. You can do this. Like, which one?
Okay, so we're saying 20 years from now, right? 20 years
Or
from
just
now,
say we're
or even right
when
now.
in 2001 we were 30-year-old guys, and like you were a top bill director.
Okay. Word. Okay, so going off of that, all right. So top bill director, the Spider-Man movies never existed. The Harry Potter movies don't exist.
Nope.
It's just the books and the comics.
It's the same scenario as that this guy had.
And I'm me.
You're you.
I'm doing Harry Potter. I read
Not Spider-Man?
I read more Harry Potter growing up than I read Spider-Man.
They had the cartoons for Spider-Man too, though.
That's true, but I don't know. Like growing up, I read more Harry Potter than I did Spider-Man comics.
I would
And
have to
cartoons.
agree because I also read that Harry Potter books a lot too, and plus it is also like it's like a cooler concept. Don't get me wrong, Spider-Man is a really cool concept, and I love Spider-Man myself. But being able to like recreate this on screen and direct a bunch of like magic scenes and like the growth of this person, this individual, and his battle
years.
through this triumphant who looks to be the best wizard of all time, and then overcome it with just incorporating all the magic and cool scenes that would incorporate. I think that would ultimately be cooler. But don't get me wrong, if I didn't get offered Harry Potter and I got offered Spider-Man, I'd say yes in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat, for sure.
But yeah,
It'd be one of the
choose
coolest
Harry Potter.
projects ever.
Yeah.
I hate that this is a sweep, but I'm also choosing Harry Potter for sure.
That's what it is.
I mean, I've read all the books more than once. Just this, like the story of Harry Potter, is just it's one of the best stories ever. It's one of the best fictional stories ever told, I think. And to be able to make movies out of it would just be an opportunity I don't think I could pass up. Which I mean, I don't know anything about that director, but I wonder what his thoughts were. I wonder like what
Probably
he was, what
same
when
shit, to be
so I'm
honest.
sure it probably wasn't the easiest decision ever. I mean, unless he has no idea what Spider-Man was and didn't read any comics or anything, but I'm sure he did. So
That was like, I read Harry Potter so many times when I was younger. I ran out of like,
I read it backwards.
I ran out, so I started reading the Booth spinoff, like Charlie Bone. I read through the Charlie Bone books after because I'm like, I need something close to it. So
I didn't go that far.
it wasn't great. It was there, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
But
I just moved on to a different book.
which is weird too, because you were saying like there's so much you could do with Harry Potter, but there's also so much you could do with Spider-Man because he has all the villains and there's all the comics that you could build off of and everything. But like, I don't know. Harry Potter's tight.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough question, I think, because there's so many pros and cons to
Yeah.
doing both, and like
I just think Harry Potter is something you like hasn't been seen before, and then especially like trying to recreate the castle, the Quidditch, the fucking Goblet of Fire games. Like
it was very unique in early 2000s.
They should have
which, I
had
mean,
like
the
They-
Death Eaters.
they had that whole casting for the kids in London. They said we only want kids from London and everything. And I think they were saying like they had straight up like packs of kids waiting outside just trying to audition for this. Crazy.
yeah, that is pretty nuts.
Yeah.
I have another fun fact. Stan Lee was quoted saying that Michael Jackson was interested in being Spider-Man in the 90s. How would a Michael Jackson Spider-Man look?
All respect to Michael Jackson. That would
Freaky
have been the
yeah,
worst
boy.
movie of all time. That would have been so bad.
I would have preferred Jim Carrey playing Spider-Man.
That would have been awful, dude.
That's what he would have said. Yeah, that's what he would have said when he tried to say. He'd be like,
And he'd fly away.
There's a backflip over.
He'd be fucking moonwalking upside down.
Bombs.
With his little gripper feet, he'd be moonwalking upside down. That would have gone tough.
He would have took that little kid under the balloon and never brought him back.
Or he would have looked like Spider-Pig for real. Moonwalking on the fucking roof. Anywho.
He would have, bro. Maybe that's where his dance moves came from. His love for Spider-Man.
No, Homer Simpson.
God, that would have been so bad.
I'm not gonna lie. If Michael Jackson was the first Spider-Man instead of Tobey, the Marvel Cinematic Universe would not exist. It literally wouldn't exist. All these great movies, just Disney would not, like, so many businesses would be fucked. Or, you know, or maybe Michael Jackson would go on to be the greatest actor ever.
Not off of that.
You got any more fun facts?
I ran through mine.
I think we can end on that one.
Yeah.
Word.
What are we picking next week?
Fuck. Don't know the director's name. I forget. But it's another cult classic.
Okay.
Dazed and Confused.
I have yet to see that.
I haven't seen it either. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey.
Is that the fuck? What's he say?
I don't know.
You know what's the great thing about girls in high school? I keep getting older and they keep staying the same age. Is that movie?
I don't know. I have no idea. We're about to find out, aren't we?
I guess so.
That's
what I'm thinking is I think I started it and I fell asleep, but
I've never seen it, but it's a very...
He looks drift out of his mind.
The whole thing is about, like, stoners.
Major cult classic.
Richard Linklater, 1993.
I think
if this sounds interesting to you, tune in next week.
Get some of the old heads with this one.
Get some old
Thank
heads.
you for watching.
Some monks.
That's it.
Yeah, that's that. That was Spider-Man. Next week, Dazed and Confused. Normal little shout out. Shout out Philip Sommer, Nate Donk.
Got a couple of goons in the
Mike,
back.
Corey, Buck.
You like that from last week?
Stop,
That was D-List Cinema.
Hey, run it. Got a couple goons
We
in
love
the
you
back.
guys. See ya. Bye. Love you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Look, got a couple goons in the back. And they all got a little heat sensitive smoke. They don't even gotta move from the back. You don't gotta look for the game. If you see me, always been a cool where I'm at. Okay. Shawty said she tryna take a Nate Donk break. When this drop, she about to relapse. I'm in the field.